it. Answer your phone, son. This is your boy, man.
Hi everyone, welcome to Live with Barb and Ray. I'm Barb.
And I'm Ray.
And we know who we are today.
We do.
Yes, we do. We are really excited about today's show. We have a lot of great information, as always, to share with you. And make sure you stay tuned the entire time because we talked a lot about the propositions last month.
Yeah.
Election Day is November 6th. Yesterday was National Election Registration Day, Voter Registration Day. So make sure you are registered to vote. But we're going to have Phil Hawkins, our CEO, here today, who's very involved in our association at a political level. And he's going to come and go a little bit more deep dive into the propositions that are really, really, really important to housing.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of other stuff for you.
So you got to watch and you got to share and you have to educate people.
Yeah.
And definitely
educate your members, educate your colleagues, fellow realtors.
Yep.
What do we got today?
We got a lot of good feedback from the last show. If you hadn't watched it, we interviewed the head counsel of C.A.R. MLS, Ed Zorn.
Yep.
And we asked him a lot of interesting and engaging questions.
Yes.
And through that last episode, we got a lot of feedback. And I wanted to say thank you to JJ Katnick out of Tustin. He sent me one of many emails we got, and he said an interesting thing. He said, the MLS is made for cooperation, is for us to cooperate with other agents.
Cooperative broker marketplace,
Exactly.
I think is what Ed said.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we talked about being belly to belly with clients.
Yep.
He said we should talk more about agents being belly to belly and following up with agents with each other. And networking and getting out there and being more professional amongst ourselves.
Be nice to each other.
Yeah.
Build relationships with other agents. I can't tell you how many times my offer has been selected when it was neck and neck with another offer because of a relationship I had with another realtor, and not within my own company, other companies. I think that agents forget that, yes, we are all in competition with each other, right? You and I could go on the same listing appointment, which would be pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
But we could easily be on the same listing appointment. We're competitors. But at the end of the day, we need each other, right? I would say, 9 out of 10 times? Another realtor is going to sell your listing, or you're going to bring the buyer to another realtor's listing. We need each other. We have to cooperate with each other, network with each other, and that's why PWR has so many great networking events, like Wine and Beer Festival coming up on Friday, October 19th, right? Yeah. That's a great opportunity to come meet other realtors, network, and build relationships, because we're taught to build relationships with our clients, but we don't often talk about the importance of being nice to other realtors and having relationships with other realtors.
And that beer and wine festival is a lot of fun. I
It
would
is a
love,
lot of fun.
This is us getting the word out. Let's double the attendance and engagement of people that have been showing up, and come out and meet us and meet some of the other people at the association and have a good time. It really is a lot of stuff. Going a step further, talking about MLS, the MLS rules and regulations are on our website. And a suggestion to our viewership is print them out and read them one night.
Read them?
Yeah.
What a
concept.
It's
only going to make you a better realtor, guaranteed.
I think you'd be shocked to see some of the rules. I just taught Power Start this week. Power Start is a new agent 5-day training program. If you don't know about it, look it up. It's a phenomenal program. It's $99 for all 5 days, 9 to 12, Monday through Friday. I think our next one won't be until the beginning of the year, but put it on your calendar because it's a wonderful program, even if you're not a brand new agent. But in Power Start, I talk to them about reading their code of ethics and reading their MLS rules and regulations, and I ask them when I start the class. I teach day one, which is tools of the trade. I ask them day one how many of them have read their code of ethics or even understand that they agreed to MLS rules and regulations, and 9 out of 10 times I get no hands raised. And what concerns me about that is when you became a realtor and when you signed your contract with PWR, you agreed to those things. You agreed to the code of ethics. You agreed to the MLS rules and regulations, and most agents have never even read them.
Yeah.
I've read them. I know you've read them.
Yep.
And we reference them all the time. So I agree. Take responsibility for your membership. Take responsibility for the fact that you are a realtor, which is not the same as a sales agent.
Yeah.
And there's reasons why that's not the same as a sales agent.
Make yourself better. Do it. I wish I could reach through and shake you.
You are full of energy today.
Yeah. And by the way, JJ, thank you for the email. We're going to be sending you a signed picture.
Signed autograph photo of Live with Barb and Ray, Barb and Ray. You know you want one.
Yeah.
We really should have a headshot together.
We should.
Okay, advertising's still an issue, guys. I talked to Lori Smith, our Pro Standards manager. I talk to her all the time. Advertising. We're seeing it mostly on open house signs. I think everyone got the word on for sale signs. We're seeing it in open house signs, and we're seeing it in social media marketing. You have to put your company and your license number on everything, and every single post. It's not good enough just in your bio. Ray has a great solution, because I've caught Ray before.
Yep.
Hey, Ray. Oops, I forgot.
Yeah. And how fast do I fix it?
Very
within seconds.
Oh, within seconds.
Because
so tell them your solution, though. This is
it's
great.
a very easy solution. I have an iPhone. We had to look it up. It's called text replacement. You go into your keyboard on the settings of your phone, and you can say, if I type in, and this is what I do, DDD, disclose, disclose, disclose.
Yep.
DDD, if I type that in anywhere on my phone, whether it's in a text message or in an email, I have it set up to automatically put Ray Fernandez, Mickey Mouse Real Estate,
and your
my
license
license number.
Yeah.
So it's just the disclose, because it's a pain in the butt.
It's a pain in the butt to type it all the time. I get it.
You're excited to take a picture of new listing, but then you just go DDD, and then your disclosure goes in.
Disclose.
Disclose.
And what I like about that is you can also put it in your notes and just copy it. But I feel like then you have to go into another app, you have to copy it, you have to put it back. When you do the text replacement, you literally put that in your post or in your text message or whatever you're doing, and it's going to come up. I think that is a great piece of information for our members. Look at you coming up with the fun tips. Do you realize every time you drink out of that cup, there's nothing in it?
Yeah.
Do our members actually think there's something in our cups? Why are you trying to act fancy
I'm doing it because
and pretend like there's coffee in it?
They've always sat here, and we've never actually taken a sip out of them, so I'm just trying to trick everybody.
Well, I called you
and
out.
Gave it away.
I gave it away. Okay, C.A.R. REImagine is coming up. And we've got some more details about this, and we want to share it with you. October 9th is those paid tracks we talked about. Great for new agents, great for brokers. There's a coaching track, and there's a business plan track, and there's a team domination track. So if you're on a team, or you've been interested in joining a team, or you're a team leader, that would be a great one to go to. Those are $99 each. And don't forget, you can use my discount code for any of the paid events, REIBAR. And then the trade show opens that night, the hall.
REIBAR, like go to the bar?
No, REI, like first three initials of my name.
Oh, okay, got it. Well, now they're gonna remember.
Now they are gonna remember. So our trade show opens on that night, 5 to 8 in the hall. There's a party going on, and that's free to anyone that registers as a member. And then Wednesday and Thursday, the 10th and 11th, are both all free classes, panels, lots of great stuff. And there's everything from growing your business to social media to marketing. There's even one track called Marketing Like Beyonce. I mean, they try to come up with some pretty funny taglines. I'm hosting one or moderating a panel on micro stories. So Insta stories, Snapchat, and how that's kind of changing the whole way we do real estate. And then on Wednesday, there's a lunch with Platon, who is kind of like a motivational. He's an artist. He's very good. I've heard him speak before. And then the one I don't think any members should miss is Thursday, which is Leslie Appleton Young, who we just kind of heard a preview of her housing forecast at our broker summit. And she's got some staggering numbers to talk about that I think are really going to shock some of our members. So you really want to go to that, get yourself educated, and then share it with your clients.
And we keep talking about REImagine, and this is actually part of the C.A.R. meeting.
Yes.
So the California Association of Realtors are getting together in Long Beach for our meeting. So we will be there for that. For us, it's just a bonus that the I always want to say Expo, but REImagine is going on at the same time. So while you're there, it's kind of a neat networking opportunity to meet people across the state, because this is, although it's in Long Beach, there will be a lot of people up and down the state that are there for these
tons.
meetings.
We have realtors that fly in from all across the state and drive in from all across the state. And let's face it, you might even meet some realtors in South Orange County who would never want to come up to Whittier, one of our cities. I mean, you don't have to just look for people that are in San Francisco. There are other agents that only specialize in a certain small niche area and won't go other places. So, but you got to be prepared. Bring your business cards, bring your smile. Don't hang out with the same people you always hang out with. Go meet new people, go to classes, say hello to Barb and Ray, because we will be there wandering around, and we'd love to chat with you.
Are we going to be filming there?
I'm sure we'll have Jay following us around, the man behind the camera. We got to get him on camera one day.
Yeah, he's been on camera.
He's shaking his head no at us.
No.
You watch, we're going to do it.
So the next thing I wanted to talk about is we have October 3 more episodes of you being Madam President.
Yes.
And so I figured next year, me being president, I'm going to make some executive changes.
Okay.
So effective January 1st, it will be the Live with Ray and Barb show.
That works for me.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it works for me.
I don't want to do that. It's going to always stay Live with Barb and Ray.
Then we'd have to make new
It just
cups.
makes sense. Yeah, and then we'd have to spend $10 on new cups.
Are you ready to be president?
Absolutely not. No, I am. Behind your leadership,
You're
you've done
so
a
sweet.
great job of
Thank
training
you.
me and molding me into the
you?
president that I'm going to be.
Well, that's why we have immediate past president.
Yeah.
Which will be me.
Yeah.
And so I'll make sure you do a good job. Don't worry.
And just so everybody knows, our plan has always been to continue
Yes.
the show for a few years.
Yeah.
So it's not like next year when things change at the board here, we're going to change.
We're not going anywhere.
We're going to keep coming in and doing it as long as we feel relevant, really.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as long as people keep watching.
Yeah.
And don't give us any thumbs down.
Yeah, stop doing. I haven't noticed if anybody's doing it. But one thing that I just thought was kind of interesting, I get it quite often from people, and I'm sure you've gotten it too. How do we come up with our content, and how do we do this? And here's a secret for you guys. We literally show up 10 minutes before we film, and we sit here and we go, what are we going to talk about today? And we just say, well, this has been an issue for me. This has been an issue for you. We'll go in and we'll talk to Lori. And some of the feedback we've gotten from emails, and we do not have a script before we show up this morning.
But I think that's what makes it real, is that we're really talking to you as practicing realtors. And that's the one thing that Ray and I wanted to do this year, was we wanted to connect better with the members, as we are not just figureheads of the association. We are directors, we are leaders, but we're practicing realtors. We're in your shoes every day. Practicing realtor, practicing broker, practicing team leader, we're living your life every single day. Which leads me to one last wrap up before we talk about our guest. Don't forget, Ray, there's nothing in your cup. Don't forget to renew your code of ethics.
Yeah.
Okay? December 31st is going to come fast, guys. Don't forget to renew your code of ethics. Very, very, very important.
And to the point of being practicing realtors, I think it's to the point where we're sitting here going, okay, I got to return that text when I'm done.
What, your phone's going off too, like my phone's going
I can
off?
hear yours vibrating all day.
All right, we got Phil.
We got Phil Hawkins coming in. We'll be back in just a second. All right, guys, now it's time to have a little chat with Mr. Phil Hawkins. Welcome, Phil.
Thank you.
So Phil is our CEO of our association, but I want Phil to fill you in on his background at the association, because you've been here 20 years?
Plus. So
20
I've been working
years.
for the Realtors since '97. I came over to Pacific West in '98, and I was the Government Affairs Director and VP of Government Affairs all the way up until 2014.
So you are really passionate about our issues in real estate when it comes to...
Let's call it my first love.
Oh, first love. That's very romantic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we chatted with you at the beginning of the show about the two very important propositions, and I chatted with Phil, and he agrees that these are probably the two most important housing-based propositions that we've had in 30 years, you said?
30 years plus,
Yeah?
yes.
Okay, so let's talk about Prop 5. Start with Prop 5. Yes on Prop 5.
So yes on Prop 5. Prop 5 is C.A.R's solely sponsored proposition.
You should be proud to be a realtor because of this.
So C.A.R was the one that spent their money to collect signatures to place it on the ballot for an election in November. What Prop 5 does is, so imagine Prop 60 and 90.
Yep.
But at a much higher level. So right now, under Prop 60 and 90, if the counties participate,
Yep.
and you're over 55 years old,
Yep.
you can move your property tax bases to those 11 counties that participate. Out of the 58, we only have 11. Out of those 11 counties participate, you can move it and buy of equal or lesser.
Yep.
So what Prop 5 does, Prop 5 is very simple. It makes it mandatory that every county in the state, all 58 counties,
anywhere in California.
Anywhere in California, you can transfer your property tax bases. Currently, if you're 55 and older, you can only do it once.
Yep.
Prop 5 says you can do it as many times as you want over 55 and older. It also allows you, and this is the big one, to buy at a higher level.
Which is huge for
Huge.
California.
So imagine the person in their home, 5-bedroom home, kids move out,
Yep.
and they want to downsize, but they're not really looking to downsize in price. They're looking to downsize in the size of the home.
They want to go to the ocean.
They want to go to the ocean. It's a good example. This would allow them to sell that property and even buy at a higher level, and then it's a blended rate. So a good example is if you had $100,000 tax basis on your house, you sell for $500,000. You want to buy at $600,000. On the first $500,000, you'd pay the $100,000 basis,
which is low.
And then on the $100,000, which that you bought the house for $100,000 more,
pay the new.
You pay the new. So it would be a blended rate. Sacramento, the non-partisan Ledge Analyst Office, it's hard to say, big word.
It's okay.
Says
we don't do big words here.
It would create about 40 to 60,000 new transactions a year.
That would free up a lot of housing
That would
for
free up
our
a
buyers.
ton of housing. It's right-sizing housing is what it's doing.
Unclogging it. I like to say we're unclogging the
We're
system.
putting people in the size houses that they're feeling trapped right now is what's happening. And this would free that up.
Yeah. I have a lot of clients who are shutting down half of their home, who are turning off air conditioning, shutting vents, making sure lights are never on, because they don't need their 3,000 square foot home, but they don't want to move because they want that tax basis of, $1,500 a year.
That's it, exactly.
I'm starting to talk to my clients about this on appointments, just explaining to them the facts of what's going on with this proposition, and they're so excited. So the more you learn about it and the more you're educated on it, the smarter you're going to sound as a realtor, and we need your vote because it's so important to our industry.
Now, I'll tell you, when you get your sample ballot in the mail, which you might have just received that, if you read what it says, we don't get a very favorable writing.
No.
We don't get to write this. It's the state of California that writes it. It's not very favorable. But look at the facts. We're speaking to real estate professionals right now, and they understand what this would do. And this would be huge for California. This is one of those Prop 13
unintended consequences.
Correct. But this is one of the things, it's a game changer. Prop 13 was a game changer. This is another big game changer for California.
Yeah, Prop 13 is great, but it's part of the reason we have the housing suffocation because people aren't moving because of Prop 13.
That's correct.
And this will help unclog it.
That's correct.
So, what do they vote on Prop 5?
Yes.
Yes
that
on
was a
Prop 5.
question,
I know.
right?
You got my brain.
Yes on Prop 5.
Yes on Prop 5. Okay. Now, equally important, completely different topic, and opposite end of the voting spectrum, Prop 10.
Prop 10. So, yes on 5, no on 10. Prop 10 is removing the restrictions on rent control. So, currently, any city could pass rent control. We don't like rent control, by the way, but any city could pass it. But if they pass it, there's rules that they would have to follow. The rules are any new construction is not considered under rent control. That so allows development. So if you have rent control and you don't have the current laws that are currently in place, nobody's going to build.
No, why would they build?
Because it won't pencil out for them. So current law says any new construction is not going to be under rent control. The second thing is if you have rent control and a person moves out of the property, that property can be brought up to full market value. And the thought there is, when you rent a property, you know what you're going to be paying.
Exactly.
Right there. And so by bringing up the fair market value, it seems the right thing to do.
Absolutely. Well, and landlords are more incentivized to actually improve the units.
That's correct.
And make repairs and do nice things to the unit if they can collect more rent. It makes common sense. It's why you own property to begin with.
And probably the biggest, if not one of the biggest, but the biggest, is current law says if you have rent control in an area, it doesn't affect single family residential. That includes condos too. So it won't affect those type of units. So if this passes, Prop 10 passes, it will affect all three of those. So basically your restrictions are removed.
Yeah.
And that would, when Prop 5 is helping the housing industry, this is going to dramatically hurt the housing industry.
So let's give them a really good example. Santa Monica has rent control. Okay. So if I own a home in Santa Monica and Prop 10, a single family home in Santa Monica, and Prop 10 is repeal or passes and effectively Costa-Hawkins is repealed, that single family home that I live in Santa Monica, if I want to rent it out, is now rent controlled.
That's correct. So a rent control board could tell you what you can rent that for. Now, your mortgage might be $4,000 a month, but they can say theoretically you only can rent it for $25,000.
And on top of that, the restrictions that come along with that rent control board, right? Inspections and regulations.
Evictions.
So, and I like to use the example in San Francisco, and this was, and I forget the name of the study, I should remember this. In San Francisco, I think they said it was either 30 or 40% of all renters are considered wealthy. So they got into the property when under rent control when they weren't making, say, as much as they are making now, but they had no incentive to get out of that property because that at that price they're paying is so low.
It's just not good for the whole consumer in general, because we all know as realtors the number one way to gaining wealth in your life, in your financial portfolio, is through real estate. So if these renters are in rent controlled units thinking that's the end all be all, there have no way to gain wealth.
The NAR, this came out a couple years ago, but the NAR, I think they call it their wealth management, or the average homeowner across the nation, this is not California, across the nation has about $200,000 worth of savings, and that savings is primarily in their home. The average renter has around $5,000 worth of savings, and that savings is primarily in their car, because that's what their car's worth.
In a depreciating asset in their car.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a fun fact. So, what do we vote on Prop 10?
Yes.
No, Ray.
Don't put me on the spot like that when my brain's just trying to take all this in.
So the other thing, we will be having yard signs that you can put in your yard in your office. They will be in both the PWR offices. We should have those in about a week, maybe about the time this video comes out. So come into our office.
Get those in your front yard.
Yeah, come in the office, pick up those signs, and get them out there.
And we know that starting right when this video is shared with our membership, we're going to be bombarding our members, which is what we need to do. We need to get the word out, and we all know you don't read your emails, right? We know this.
I think they're getting better, though.
I think they might be. Well, I think maybe we've influenced that a little bit. Don't tell Elaine, but. We need our members to share it with other members, share it in your offices, share it with other realtors who don't watch the Live with Barb and Ray show and aren't as educated as you are, because this is a game changer for our industry.
The other thing, if you would like anybody to come out and speak at your office, give us a call. We have, including myself, there's 3 of us that can speak on this issue, these issues in your office. We would love to come out to your office.
Yeah, and if you have any questions while you're at C.A.R. REImagine, because we know you're all going, because we've talked to you about it a million times, stop one of us, ask us questions. C.A.R. has great talking points online, so if you just go into CAR.org, I don't know the exact website, just go in the search and search Prop 5 or Prop 10. I guarantee you'll find it. Some great talking points in there that you can become more educated on it, because it can be confusing when we talk about all these.
And let's put the link at the bottom of our episode so that you can click on that and get the talking points there. That just puts more work on Jay, but they'll be there.
So yes on 5, no on 10.
Yes on 5, no on 10. Thanks again for watching.
Thank you, Phil, for being here.
Thanks for being here. And again, stay classy out there, PWR.